Is in which is chosen back to another video. Hopefully, you guys are having a beautiful day today. So today, I'm going to talk about the dangers of dating a narcissist. But first of all, before I do that, I still remind all of you that there is Facebook page we have opened up recently, and you can always go there to that page. There is so many members. There are like we can discuss so many things. You can always get one or two things that can help you on your healing journey. And also, if you have got a question, you can always post it on that page, or even you can post the question directly to me. Then I could do a video about it. But if not, if you think it's not necessary, you can always go to our page on Facebook. I think the link is going to be in the description below, and you can always join the page. You can ask the questions there, and other members will join in, interact with you as well, and share with you as well. So what it is that you want to know, there is always something to be learned from somebody else. And the new ones, if it's your first time you have subscribed my channel, you have always we have always covered so many things on this page, and you can always take a moment to like share and subscribe. If there is something that resonates reasonably with you, you can always take a moment to like the page, share and subscribe. And for the ones who have always been with me, I welcome you back to the page. It's the page of freedom, the page of enlightenment. So basically, I came up with a long list of things. I can call them problems. They can be also consequences, or even they can be lessons. So, my brothers, listen, and sisters, learned with dating and narcissists. In my videos, I'm going to call them so. I'm going to make a short series of things, the problems and the dangers of, or the problems that you might encounter while dating a narcissist. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about one of them, you see, which was my first on the list. So the list goes on, is somewhere up there, brothers and sisters, is somewhere up there. But one of them I wrote on the list, it was, you might be that individual who has actually noticed that you have developed a certain, I would say, addictions. Now, as you know, it is not by coincidence, and of course it's not new, it shouldn't be new to you, that narcissists, they always have their own way of, I would say, doing things. They have really, usually, they have got their own way of managing life and doing things, and they have got some also something secretly, they got some kind of addictions, I would say, uh, that you that go along with them. So some of those addictions, of course, when it's involved with a person who is toxic, so you're also going to get intoxicated in one way or the other, because there are some things that you are going to pick up from them, right? And some of them, or some of those things, could be addictions as well, right? So some of the most common addictions I could talk about in this video would be alcoholism. Now, this one, I have seen it myself, I have experienced it, and I have seen it myself. You could be that person who was not even used to alcohol. Yes, you might be have heard uh like a narcissist or two every now and then, but when you meet a narcissist, you realize that actually your love for alcohol accelerated to some degrees. So your person who actually, who was used to have a small, I would say, pint, but now for some reason, somewhere down the line, somewhere down the road, couple of years, you have become actually an alcoholic. You can just can't do without alcohol, right? So it can be one of the, also the addictions. If you are that kind of person who looks back in time and realize that at some point of time you weren't a person who was not very familiar or even used to alcohol. and all of a sudden you were the person who is very toxic, and eventually you found out that the narcissist, and then you also found out yourself a doctor, you have developed a very deep love and urge of consuming alcohol. You could actually be facing, I would say, an addiction that could be an addiction that has been also been picked up from the person you are dating, the person I'm talking about, with whom you are in the relationship. In this scenario, there can also be other cases, other types of there could be narcissist who is your boss. They could be necessary your mothers or your friends, whatever. But in the relationship as well, one thing I've noticed in my journey is that there are some narcissists actually who are very deeply alcoholic. So if a person is very alcoholic, there is very high chances as well that you can also pick up on that addiction, and be and it can be also from it can become a part of you, which at the end of the day it becomes a problem. And the another addiction I can talk about, the dangers of, I would say, dating a narcissist. It can be consuming, consumption of, I would say, drugs. You could start getting exposed to drugs use, so you could be a person who is not even used to familiar to drugs, or drugs, I mean drugs, all of a kinds, whatever. There are so many types of drugs, like there are so many drugs in the world. There can be, drugs like marijuana, there can be drugs like cocaine, there can be hard drugs, soft drugs, or whatever. But you can always find that narcissists also one or the other. So they can be people who are also involved in consuming drugs. So it could be have been like part of their routine, part of their playbook, depending on who you're dealing with. So you might have been that person who has never been used to drugs, or all of a sudden you're dating somebody who is appearing to be very toxic, what has to be very toxic, and you pick up on that similar addiction. So it is very possible that also with the narcissist you could pick up an addiction whereby you end up getting involved with same thing. So I would say drug abuse with drugs and whatever. So you start using those things, and on a daily basis becomes down the line, in down the road, it starts to be also actually a problem. So the third one I could talk about, in the category of addictions, I would say could be sex addictions. So narcissists, we all know it, that they also happen to be very good sex addict. So you can be a person also who is letting a narcissist, and you find that actually for some reason they are exposing you to all sorts of things. You see, so they could be exposing you to vulgar things. They could be exposing you to any type of things. They could be exposing you all sorts of things, all the sex related issues, right? Or sex related incidents, and all of a sudden eventually you find that down the road you're getting addicted to. You can be getting, yes, of course, everybody at the end of the day, we all have that moment whereby, of course, we engage with the person intimately, sexually, but then at the end of the day, and if you find out now you are learning some kind of things, or I would say you're picking up some kind of some rare sexual practices, especially when I would with the narcissist, this can be hidden addictions, right? So the narcissists are involved, they can be hidden addictions. And when you're dating this narcissist, you also find yourself actually copying them, or even, I would say, following them along with their addictions, and you start engaging in some sort of those addictions, right? This can be a wrench in many different ways. You can be that person, now you were the guy who is now introducing you to all those kind of things, you see, on those parties, or you are the person who is getting a narcissist is actually exposing you to vulgar things. So there's a lot of different addictions, right? So that you can also copy from the narcissist. So there can be as well, like I have said, it's going to be a short video, because I'm going to make a lot of many short videos about the dangers of dating a narcissist. So there can be so many addictions, but in the part I'm mentioning today, the part I'm trying to talk about today is like I have given you about three. This can be drug use. This can be drugs. You can be exposed to drugs, or you can develop a sex addiction. You can develop a sexual addiction. You can develop a drug addiction. You can get introduced to drugs, and you can become even sometimes a drug addict, right? Or sometimes you can become an alcoholic. You can be dating the kind of man or woman who is consuming a lot of alcohol. So for some reason you get addicted to that practice, and you become also an alcohol, right? Also an alcohol addict. So if there's anything as well you want to add on the part of the addictions, you can always put it in the comments down below. But I have said the list is very long, and I'm going to break these videos in short so that we can get to the end of the list. So people, that's it. It's for my video for today. I hope you stay well. I really wish you a beautiful year. I wish you so all sorts of blessings in this coming time. You see, in this coming year, I wish you enough, right? Much love and blessings, people, and I'll get back to you in my next video. Bye for now. I'm signing out, right? Peace.